What is up, everybody? It is I, the Mohawk, and the thing is, you know that I love Starcraft, but the thing is, Stormgate. Ugh, how do I put it this way? So the gameplay just came out like a couple of hours back. I'm checking it out in my time zone. I got the whole email and everything of that. I don't know how to react. I don't know how to feel, but I'm hoping that this could be something. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be whatever. It could be the end of StarCraft, it could be the beginning of something. I don't know. So many mixed feelings to this one.
XO Rally Championship might be racing its way across the stars, but it's already raced its way into my heart. Anyways, if you're not aware, I've got something of a history with the real-time strategy genre. And funnily enough, at labs like DeepMind, those same RTS games just so happen to be a valuable testing ground for world-leading AI research.
Isn't it funny how all our like StarCraft scene heroes are quite distinguished looking nowadays? It kind of shows the demographic that it reminds me how old I am.
Curious. Can it be just a coincidence then that I'd end up the kind of man to name himself an AI visionary? Well, I mean, probably. But what's no coincidence is my excitement for the eagerly anticipated RTS from former Warcraft and Starcraft devs at Frost Giant Studios. It's Stormgate, and today we don't just get the chance to get some exclusive first look at some Stormgate gameplay, but we're also joined by Frost Giant's president and game director Tim Campbell here to tell us exactly how Stormgate will delight all minds, artificial or otherwise. Thanks so much for joining us, Tim.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Now, I've been following Stormgate for years, but for those of us who haven't, what is Stormgate?
Stormgate is our modern take on the classic real-time strategy game formula. It's what we think of as a spiritual success.
Okay, it feels familiar yet different. Okay. I don't know if I'm rushing the gun here, but I'm looking at this and I'm just like, oh my god, this could be like what I've been waiting for so long.
To franchises like Warcraft, Starcraft, Command and Conquer. And real-time strategy games are the type of game where you can control an entire battlefield. So this classic RTS formula includes harvesting resources, building sprawling bases, commanding huge armies.
What I'm feeling right now is exactly what Day 9 is sort of like portraying in his body language right now.
On the battlefield.
What is it about Stormgate that's new?
We believe that the RTS genre is something that should be enjoyed by players of all skill levels. And so we put a lot of effort into making sure that Stormgate feels good, whether you're a pro with high technical skill and you love competitive play, or whether it's something that you just want to be able to relax with and experience a story.
Now, Tim, I understand that you brought for all of us, but in particular for me, a present to show today. What are you going to show, Tim?
We are going to show gameplay from the pre-alpha of Stormgate.
Yeah.
Now this is something that we are big believers in at Frost Giant. We want to share this current state of the game today.
Let's take a look. Oh, Tim, I'm so excited. And right away, this looks like an RTS. Tell me what we're seeing.
This is the classic start to a 1v1 match. What you're seeing here is the human faction as they're sending workers out to harvest resources. Right. They're starting to construct building. They actually build them by 3D printing them from the ground up. And you can see them now starting to train troops so they can have an army that goes out in the field to fight.
Yeah, and I mean, right here, we see in the corner coming up, this looks like a scout unit?
Yeah, that is literally a cybernetic dog with laser eyes. It is called the Scout, okay?
Wait, I love it that they took the whole scout feature of StarCraft of sending your probe out, and there's an actual unit specifically for that. Just like my StarCraft 2 RTS gamer mind is tingling so bad right now, man.
It's designed for early game. It's a unique unit to the human faction.
Right.
And you can see him now running through the base trying to see what information he can find out about his enemy.
Yeah, I mean, scouting and information is such an important part of RTS games.
It really is, and this is something that we've embraced early game. The Scout unit has been designed so it can actually sense units beyond its sight radius. So it's
awesome.
Especially useful early on.
So we're heading into what looks like the first engagement of this game. What are we seeing?
Well, what we're seeing right here is the Red Scout getting surprised by a group of blue troops coming through the Light Force, which is the new train type and a twist on the tactical battlefield here.
And how do these Light Force work?
The Light Force lets smaller units move through them. They have concealment. It's allowed Blue to raid Red's base, in which case Red is barely getting a turret built with their speed building from their workers, which is a human faction advantage. And they're about to pop out a couple extra defenders here from their mech base.
So we got these huge mechs, and I mean, just visually, it looks like they are countering the heck out of these blue infantry, but can these red mechs fit through the forest?
No, they're too big to go through. They're heavy units. They're designed to use their chain guns to go through groups of enemies, but they can't fit through the light forest, which Blue knew and used to his advantage.
Okay, so we're in mid-game. This is normally where you make some big tech decisions. What's red up to?
You're seeing Red commit to a tech path that gives them big battlefield mechs and air units like this evac.
And it looks like they're just dropping right on top of Blue, who is killing a chicken? What's the chicken there, Tim?
Yeah, that's a giant chicken with a Viking helmet on it. Use your imagination. Stormgate's in pre-alpha, and that's art that we haven't gotten to yet, but imagine it as a big Mad Max Raider.
It's the most threatening placeholder art for now. And oh, I see Red diving onto Blue, and hey, picking back up into the air transport. That's some classic high-level micro.
It is, and it's really important for Stormgate that we maintain a high skill ceiling so that players can express themselves on the battlefield by maneuvering and how they interact with the battlefield.
And here we have the final fight of the game, and it looks like Blue is coming up against those mechs. Red is trapped on the other side of the trees. Oh, wait, they can blast through them now?
Oh,
and Blue's
dang.
dodging these enormous shots, and we can also see Blue swarming in from both sides. This is not looking good for Red.
No, it's pretty grim. Red is on the ropes right here, and they've been outmaneuvered. They're caught in the corner here between two different forces coming in with a mobile pincer.
Man, and of course,
there's the GGs.
The most classic ending to an RTS game, GG. Get Tastosis on that stat. Outside of 1v1, what's coming up for Stormgate?
What you've seen today is just the tip of the iceberg. We have so much more in store. We're going to be revealing a bunch of stuff about Stormgate the rest of this year. We're introducing new modes. We have a 3-player versus AI cooperative mode. We have team-based competitive modes. We're going to be sharing information about our storyline and campaign. We have new factions beyond the humans that you just saw today.
But Tim, what if I want to play the game right now?
If you want to play the game as soon as possible, you wish list Stormgate on Steam and you go to playstormgate.com to sign up for the beta. We're starting closed testing in July.
Once again, go to Steam and wish list Stormgate. Tim, thank you so much again for joining us, not just to talk about the 1v1 footage you shared, but the future content plans of Stormgate. It makes the RTS players' dreams come true. Which might not be your dreams. I mean, your dreams might be filled with gloriously grimy Deus Ex-inspired sci-fi fisticuffs with a fiendishly Star Wars vibe to it. If so, get a load of this latest trailer for Fortune's Run.
Okay, so here's my opinion. I love the fact that it looks exactly what I was hoping for in regards to an RTS. And I know there are those out there who are looking for something that is like out of the box and stuff like that. But for me, right, I've invested so much time in StarCraft 2. Maybe not as much as some of my my other fellow esports athletes dedicating that amount of time into StarCraft 2. But when I look at exactly what Stormgate is going to be in this gameplay footage, I'm happy because I can see where my skills can be reapplied. Like all the time that I've invested in StarCraft 2 can be reapplied. And visually, it's not so jarring. I don't have to visually relearn anything. The units look like a Marine. It just comes off straight off the bat. The bigger units, I can't remember what they're called, do feel like a Stalker or Stalker side, because I usually play Protoss. So, it's not something so jarring where I'm like, oh my god, I'm out of my depth. Like when I was playing Age of Empires 4, I was out of my depth because the everything felt off. But when I saw this, everything felt right, and I was feeling hopeful because a lot of the skills that I have learned are transferable. My mind is already racing on the type of things that I can port over from StarCraft 2 to Stormgate. So I am personally excited. Do I think it's a StarCraft 2 killer? It's highly possible that this could be a StarCraft 2 killer because it feels like StarCraft 3 in every sense of the word. In every sense of the word except by name. And that's why when they were saying they were gonna start to play test it in July. July's coming up. I already did the whole pre-register. I already put it on the wish list even before this video. I'm gonna try it out, and I'll be honest with you. And I know that the StarCraft 2 community, especially on Facebook, you guys have been quite darlings, close to my heart and all that jazz. And also the clans on Discord that I've recently joined as well. I'm going to have to try to find a way to balance that. But I'll be honest with you. There is a strong chance I might jump over and try to see if I can make a name for myself there in Stormgate while it's still new. But let's see how it goes. That's the gameplay.